Hello my planner pals and welcome back, and if you're new here then thank you for joining me and giving me a try. My name is Di, I am here at Creative Comedy Design. Today I am doing a quick flip through of my December daily from days 18 or story 18 to story 25, and I'm going to do the same as I did before. I will talk about the pages and then there will be timestamps here for process videos, so if you want to go to a specific one you can just straight away flip to that. Alright, so we left off with ornaments on day 17, and then day 18 here we have an all things merry and bright. This was all about happy mail. This did not happen on this day, but this was the story I wanted to tell, and it's basically getting happy mail of like the stories by the month kit, like physical happy mail. Like, who gets mail these days, right? I got some stamps, I got some happy mail, and the page itself, the snowflake, the pink snowflake is pattern paper from Michaels. The word art, the gifts, the little tags and the frames are all Ali Edwards. So it's kind of a little bit of a hybrid page. Love this. And then we move on to story 19. And on this day, the dogs were barking and I went outside just to check to see if there was a parcel or something or delivery, and there was a snake in my entryway. We have lived here 23, almost 24 years. We've never had a snake in our garden, and this was a bit of a shock. Thankfully, it was just a California striped racer and not anything venomous or anything, but yes, snake in the entryway was a bit of a shock that day. And Ali had this word art of "you better watch out," and I was like, that's perfect. That's perfect. So I just paired it with some black and gold pattern paper. This is Die Cuts with a View, some gold sparkly paper, because the California striped racers are black and gold or tan or whatever. They're black and tan, and it just made sense. The tag here, the circle tag, that again is Ali. And I don't know whether you can see here, but I actually stitched on my page and did these little like starbursty things. I love this page, and it was a memory from this month that I really want to keep. So I'm happy that I have that in my December daily. For day 20, this actually started on day 18. So for story 20 is all about bar humbug because I got sick. But a little journaling thing in here, and I just put like basically after 4 years of barely even a sniffle, I am making up for it right now with 4 years of cold and flu and blur. I'm still not 100%, and we are going on day 9 of this. Still not 100%. The text, the pattern paper, like the little nutcrackers here, and the stitching, the fake stitching, is all done in Canva using Ali Edwards photo. The little tag, the little tab is Ali Edwards, and then I just attached the wood snowflakes from Hobby Lobby, stitched them on. This was from a paper pack, and I just, boom, done, put it together, done, done, and done. I didn't have any bandwidth, and zero bandwidth. So this is coming out. Again, this is what I'm struggling with. Once I finish with this album and we are done, I will be super gluing these damn things together because they keep opening and things keep escaping. So the 21st was Yule. I fully intended to do things for Yule. Fully intended to do things for Yule. However, I was sick. So all I did for this was I took the photo from Canva. This is just a stock photo. I figured I already have the 21. I don't need another number on there. And Rini had a little winter solstice blessing. So I asked her for that, and I just put that in behind the photo. And the stamp here is from Ali Edwards. This is Ali Edwards. This is Ali Edwards. I just crossed out the fun. Again, this was a little Canva graphic. And then added my journaling, called it done. Again, bar humbug, I have zero energy and zero F's to give for this project at this point. Zero F's to give. And I was so annoyed because I really wanted to do a lot for Yule this year and again, embrace the December daily, but I had nothing. I had nothing. Story 22, I'm just doing pocket pages, and this is Ali Edwards, this is Ali Edwards, and all I did was plonk them in Canva to the size that I needed. I think these are like 5.5. They're slightly less than 6x4. So I just created it all in Canva, printed them out, stuck them in the pockets. I've got a little sparkly washi tape here. This is Scotch. I am loving this. I got this for my birthday from my husband. And this was basically just about my husband on a quest to make some vegan Yorkshire puddings because I am over the holidays at this point. Again, sick. Story 23. I'd seen Deneen. If I remember, I will link her her video. But I'd seen Deneen do this little like word art thing, and I was like, I can scrap lift that. So I did. I made this in Canva. I did do a little alteration to it in Photoshop so that some of the join was there. But I made this in Canva, cut it out in gold glitter and then in silver glitter. And again, I did that one in reverse, right? And then I was like, okay, I've got the little attacher things to attach it. Love. How am I going to put the number on? I could have just put it on the page protector, but I didn't want to do that. So I just put a little circle, and then I've got my 23 in like little jewel things. These were actually from Dollar Tree, and they were already done. They were already in numbers. They're already numbers. I don't have to do anything with them. So I think they're either from Dollar Tree or Walmart, one or the other. And there's just a sheet of numbers. It's perfect for December Daily. Love this. I think I want to do some more of this next year. And then all I did was just put in 3 movies that we watched and a little journaling card. And then on the back, I just did a little pocket page about my favorite Christmas movie, which is Die Hard. And yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. The 24th, I was struggling by this point because I'd been sick. I was struggling with what stories I could tell. So what I decided to do was move this. This tag, I think, was further after Christmas. I moved this, and then I just did a little ordinary moments and low-key holidays. This is, again, Ali's word art. I've got a picture of Stella. I've got a picture of Cosmo. And then on the back of one of the tags, there's just a bit about Stella and Cosmo. I'm going to say like stats and facts right now on Stella and Cosmo. And that just seemed like a good thing to do. It's something that I wanted to put in. I just wasn't sure where. And then I just added fa la la from Ali's word art. This I made in the prep day. And then on the back of there, because I had the full page, all I decided to do was, this was my Christmas gift from my husband. And it's basically coasters, like, you know, for your mugs. They're slate, but they're engraved with all of the dogs that we've had in our almost 24 years of living in the US. I bawled like a baby when I got these. They're just gorgeous. They're just gorgeous. Can I just say they're gorgeous? Look at them. They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. But these are slate, and they have the names and the photo of each of the dogs that we've had, which has been 5 dogs. So I just took a photo of that. I knew that I wanted that to be my landscape back of my 25. Initially, I was sure that I was going to put my food on this page, and then this happened. I created this in Canva, did the text. Again, this is Ali's, and then I just felt it needed a little pop of red to go with this. So I just added, again, some embroidery on these 2 little spots so that I've got that visual triangle. And that was the gifts. And then I've literally got just 2 pocket pages back and front, journaling cards. This was from a pattern paper pack. And then I've got the photos of the food that we'd eaten for the dinner and the table that we set. And then on the back, I've just got December traditions is that we always give the dogs their own Christmas dinner. and then I just got a photo of me. This is actually, and I will be doing more of this, it's actually the Christmas crackers that we had, and I just cut it to size. All right, so that is 18 to 25. Again, the process videos are here, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Alrighty, so here we are starting on again. This is story number 19, and you can see here that I'm using the back of story 18. I think this page is around 8.5 inches square, something like that. And I did kind of like, I'm going to say sketch it out beforehand in Canva when I was trying to figure out the sizes for the frames. So I just imported my elements, I will say, into Canva and just made sure that I was cutting the frames to size. So I'm making sure that my photos fit the frames as well. So I've cut the frames and the word art and the tags all on my Cricut. I've printed and cut those. I've printed out my photos, and then I'm just going to layer everything together. I do put some dimensional adhesive on the All Things Merry and Bright. And you can see me with my brayer here. I've said this before, but I'm loving that brayer. It just helps keep my fingers away from the photos, which I definitely I need, because usually I have ink and sticker bits and things all over my fingers that they should not be anywhere near my photos. So again, you can see me here. Yep, I've got the dimensional adhesive, and I think I mentioned this in one of my other videos, but I got a couple of different types. I've got like different widths of dimensional adhesive now, so that is great because it just means that I've got more stuff available. So the other thing that I cut out and print and cut on my Cricut was these little these little GIFs. Again, these are from the Ali Edwards. I think this is this year's kit, question mark. I can't remember, but yeah, this is just some of the digital elements that she has in her December daily kits. And again, I'm just putting those down. I'm just, again, loving the brayer for keeping my hands as much as I can away from the photos, especially when I'm like just trying to adhere things down, because I tend to get very slap happy with my hands when I'm doing that, and I end up ripping things, tearing things off, throwing ink everywhere. So I'm just loving the brayer. If you have a Cricut or your memory keeping, I think the brayer comes in really handy. So you can see me here, I'm trying some different like numbers and stuff. I have an 18, I'm like, do I want the 18? I'm not sure. So I'm just going back and forth with what I want, and I eventually come back with a smaller number. I'm going to call it a smaller number because I think sometimes it's the size that puts me off the numbers. So I just choose a smaller one and go from there. And then I'm going to adhere down the print and cut little GIFs that I have here. So yeah, and that was day 18, story 18 done. So I mentioned for story 19, I've got the picture of my little snaky friend. So I'm just cutting some cardstock down that I have from my stash. This was a paper pack from, I think this is Die Cuts with a View. The circle sticker you can see here is just an enlarged one from Ali Edwards digital files. So you can see me here, I'm kind of like looking at this and I'm like, yeah, I just feel like it needs more. It needs more. It needs more paper. So again, if I'd thought about it, I would have done it differently, but I have to kind of piecemeal things together. So you can see me here, like I've cut a little sliver of the pattern paper again, and I've got a little sliver of the glitter gold cardstock. So I'm just going to slip that on too, underneath this little circle. And I've got the little circle, so I'm going to adhere that down. And all my journaling was just pre-printed. I just print and cut everything. The word art that you see there, you better watch out, that was printed directly on top of the photo. And that is also something that I want to do a little bit more of. But you can see me here trying to figure out what I want for the right-hand side of this. And what I decide Again, I added paper and then took it away again. What I decide is I want the 19, and the 19 that you see here is like the white glitter. So I've got white glitter on gold glitter. So you can see me here just putting the 19 on, again, using the dimensional adhesive, just a little bit, just to pop it away from the page, give it a little bit of dimension. And I'm like, it needs something. It needs something. And there's that little spot to the right of the U. And I'm like, I need something. So I go into my embroidery stash and I find some, it's actually like a yellow. I wish I had gold. Again, things for next year, I'm going to get gold. So I end up doing a little gold embroidery little star thing. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, something else is missing. I end up putting a little bit of the glitter vinyl on that right hand side, and it just needed something. So again, I'm doing little embroidery here. You can see me with my little pokey tool. I don't know what that's called. I call it a pokey tool. My little pokey tool, I just use a little like eraser underneath it, so I've got something soft to push it down into. I do a little, I think it's a 6-point star. In future layouts, you'll see me do like an 8-point star. I prefer the 8-point ones. If I could go back and change something, it would be that. I would do an 8-point star. I like the 6, I prefer the 8. And I'm just adhering that down with sticky tape on the back. Because again, I want it mostly where I'm doing it right now, which is to the right-hand side of the U. It just needs something to fill in that dead space. So yeah, I'm just doing that with the embroidery floss. And this is, I think it's the triple thread embroidery floss. So like you take a regular embroidery floss and then like divide it into 2, basically. And that's what I did here. And I'm just going, you know, it's just a basic stitch. Basic stitch, you don't need to do anything fancy. And I just do 3. I do 1 above the 19, 1 to the right of you, and then 1 in the bottom right. You can't really see the 1 in the bottom right unless you're looking for it. But you and I know it's there. You and I know it's there, and that's all that counts. So yeah, that was the story of the snake that I found on my front porch. And yeah, just called that done. I love this page. I love this page. I love how it turned out. So for the back of that, which is story number 20, I've got a hybrid page. So for this, I've got my photo. I've got the bar humbug, the little nutcracker pattern paper, and the fake stitching. That is all just printed onto matte photo paper. So I've done the little bit of journaling. I want that to kind of pull out between the photo and the left-hand side of that bar humbug. Again, there's a little dead space. There's a little empty space there. So I know that that's where it has to go. So I'm just kind of like eyeballing where I want things. And I'm doing this with the ruler so that I've got a nice straight line. So again, I'm just going around the tag here. I'm just using it as a little kind of reverse stencil, if you like. Tag fits in there beautifully. And I've got 3 little circles. These are just punched with a little circle punch. And then I go and I'm looking for some of my wood snowflakes. These are snowflakes from Hobby Lobby. I love these. This is one thing that I will say next year. When I find things in the craft store, in Dollar Tree, somewhere where I think, oh, those will be perfect for December Daily or whatever project that I'm working on, I'm going to buy them right then and right there. I'm going to buy them right then and there. I'm not going to wait. I'm going to buy them right then and there. So you can see me here trying to figure out what I want. I thought I wanted some ribbon. I still almost feel like I do, but I just leave it in the end. So I go again back to my embroidery floss, trying to find something that would match. I end up with some red that is similar to the Bar Humbug text. Again, that's all just Ali Edwards printables. I found some embroidery floss. And then again, I'm just separating it into 2, so there's 3 strands. And then just using the pokey tool, creating 3 little holes and just basically tying a knot. So my initial thing was I'm going to go around the whole thing and do a little running stitch almost. And in the end, I don't. I did this before. I think this was on the December Daily Prep Day one where I just did a little knot. I come up from the back I come down from the front, up through the back, and then just tie it in a little knot on the front. Works perfectly for these little snowflakes. Works perfectly. So I'm just repeating that the 3 times for the 3 snowflakes, and then applying adhesive to the whole of the back side, and then just sandwiching days 19 and 20 together, again with my brayer. And then because I've got some excess, I'm just going to trim the edge using my scissors where I need to. And then I'm just checking that everything is still working. And then I've just got to punch the holes. I do kind of like decide, do I want this to be like at the top, at the bottom? Because it's like not quite the full size of the album. Again, I think this was about 7 inches, 6 inches, 7 inches in length. So I end up just punching the holes and like more towards the top, I believe. And the 20 that you see me add on in a second, that is from one of the paper packs. It's just a little, they were little like squares. I used them as little holders, like placeholders in my album. And I ended up just using that from day 20 because it had some kind of border around it, but it was white in the middle. So yeah, I just used that. In hindsight, don't make the mistake that I did. In hindsight, I should have punched the paper before I put the snowflakes on. So story number 21, again, was about Yule. And this is literally just a pocket page. Literally just a pocket page. What you don't see me do on this is put the little solstice blessing in, because I didn't put that in until I think it was a day after I did this. But yeah, 21 and 22 were just pocket pages. I had 0 bandwidth from being sick. So I just made everything in Canva and then just shoved it in the pockets. That was as much as I had. What I have realized over the course of this is when I only need a little snidge taken off the cards or the photos is to not use my paper trimmer. My paper trimmer needs a new blade and is causing some issues of kind of like roughing up and causing some damage to the photos or the journaling. So I'm using my craft knife and my ruler. So you can see me here using the 22 from the pattern paper, and I'm just like, it needs something underneath it so it's not floating. I end up getting out the glitter washi tape. This is from Scotch. My husband bought me this for my birthday, and it was just the perfect little addition to this page. I do end up using dimensional adhesive to pop it away from the page, but I've got my photo, I've got my number, I've got my journaling. I called it done. Again, I'd been sick at this point for like almost a week. I was done. And this is what I will say. If you're falling behind, if you're sick, just use the freaking pocket pages. Just use the pocket pages. All right, so I did these after Christmas. So after Christmas, I kind of came in, decided what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do for story number 23 was something about the movies, the Christmas movies that we'd watched. I'd seen Deneen Zielinski, I think it is. She'd done a little die cut with like holiday movies. And I was like, yep, I want to replicate that. So I basically made the same thing. You can see that here. It's just the same thing. What I did was use the page attacher things to attach those. You can see me here. I think next year I will make my own of these. I like them. They're just not quite what I want. What I want is the adhesive on the inside rather than on the outside. These work great for adhesive on the outside. So I have a prototype, I'm going to call it, that I want to do, and I will be doing that for next year. I'll be making some of my own. The other thing is the ones that Ali has. These are like a Ali Edwards SVG file. The ones that Ali has, the holes are not quite big enough for the album. Like things get kind of stuck. So you can see me here, rather than using 2, like back and front, what I've done is I've stuck it on the inside edge, and then I just use a little piece of acetate on the front. I do have to go in afterwards and punch the holes again, but again, I'm punching the holes anyway because I don't like the fact that they're too small. So on the acetate, I'm using the red line tape because I want something a little bit stronger. And I use a little bit of wax paper so that the whole thing doesn't stick by accident. And then just adhere a back and a front. So on the front, it is gold glitter. On the back, it is silver glitter. You see me here, I have some journaling that I want to add on to some tags. So I've got some clear sticker paper, and I'm just going to adhere the little offcuts of clear sticker paper onto my printable, run them through the printer again so that they're done. I do end up putting it in the printer the wrong way around the first time, but yeah, I do kind of turn it around and print it. So I ended up printing this 3 times, but it's on clear sticker paper. So you can see me here, I'm just trying to figure out how wide I need my tags. My tags ended up being 2.5 inches, and I'm just then deciding what pattern paper do I want underneath the tags. Because I know that I want the tags to, like, I want half of a tag, if you like. I want it to kind of come from underneath, like, quote, underneath that top photo, and then come down. So you can see me here just adding on the sticker paper, squishing that down to make sure that it's adhered. And then I just make the tag. Again, you don't need any fancy equipment to make these tags. You just don't. Paper trimmer, white cardstock, you're good. It did take me a little while to figure out the corners, the ears, if you like, of the tag. But I eventually figure it out, and I do this twice because I feel like the first one is just it's too long. It's too long, and I do end up in a short while cutting it down even more. It just still feels too long. So, and at the same time, I cut the second tag for the flip side of this as well. So I'm kind of creating 2 things at once. You can see me here. Do I want to put something on the top? I can't find anything that fits, and eventually just say no. Just cut it down so that it's a little shorter. And then I get my little ribbon stash out, trying to decide what ribbon that I want to put on. I eventually decide on this like snowflake ribbon, do a little flag on the ribbon, and just staple it with my tiny attacher to the bottom of the tag. Now I'm also looking right here for something to go on the top right. I've got a selection of die cuts. And what I eventually end up using is this. It's actually a piece of the pattern paper pack. There's like a little, almost like a border page. So I just used that, and I thought it was funny because the top line, you can't really see here because of the glare, but the top line says ho ho ho, which, if you know, it's I now have a machine gun, ho ho ho, right? That's the whole Die Hard thing. So again, just slipping everything into the page protectors, again using the dimensional adhesive. Even though they're page protectors, like they're pocket pages, you can still use ribbon, you can still use like tags, dimensional stuff, you can still use all of that kind of stuff. So then I'm starting to work on the first side with the 3 movies. Again, I've got a little bit of journaling, I've got the tag, trying to figure out what pattern paper I want to use underneath. I eventually settle on some embossed cardstock. This was one that was my Cricut mistake, where my Cricut ate the cardstock. It was just one of those things, those weird things where your Cricut decides to get possessed. But it ate the cardstock, and I was just like, let's try and save as much as we can. So I made a little journal card, 3x4 journal card. You can see me here, just doing a little bit of ribbon, flagging the ends, just like I did on the previous side, attaching it with my tiny attacher. Doesn't need to be more difficult than that. Attaching the tag to the journal card, call it done. Then we come on to Christmas Eve, and by this point I was running out of stories to tell because I'd been sick at this point for a week. I'd been sick for a week at this point. So, and again, when you're not doing anything because I've been sick, like, I'm just like, okay, what stories can I tell? So the photos are from the 23rd, and I had this little like pocket that I wanted to use. I'd used one previously. I think that was day 5. I can't remember. I think it was day 5, where I did the story about my littlest Christmas tree. I'd got the exact same thing. It was just like part of a 12x12 pattern paper. I think I'd got like 6 inches of it left. So I just like folded it in half, adhered the sides, punched it, called it good. And then I'd printed out some journaling, I'd printed out some photos. These tags ended up being like 5 by 7. I've got 4 of them. 2 have photos of the dogs eating their treat from the Monday. So I've got the 2 photos of the dogs. I've got the title page, The Ordinary Moments and Low-Key Holidays. That's from Ali. And then on the back of there is the journaling. And then I eventually put the 4th one with it, which was the original one that I had, which was a Christmas card from a previous year. I'm not sure if it was last year or the year before. But that Joy card is a Christmas card. So you can see me here. I'm like, they're not all the same size. I'm going to just cut a little sliver off the end, and so that they're all the same size. And then I get them all to the same size so that there's 4 of them. And I'm then like, okay, what I want to do is create a little, I want to say a little booklet. I want a little booklet of these tags where they kind of all live in that pocket, and I can take them out and then flip through them. So that was the whole premise to this. I love this. This will be something that I definitely do in future years, especially if you've got a lot of photos, or you've got a lot, like if you have a lot of family members or something like that, it's a great way to add a lot of photos in one little space. So I end up punching a small hole with my punch into the tags, and I know that I want a little bit of ribbon or something to go through and keep everything together. So I end up getting some of the ribbon, and while I'm getting the ribbon, I spot these gold alphas, and I'm like, I think I want to put the dogs' names on their photos. So I've got Stella and Cosmo using these, like they're glitter alphas. I think they were from Dollar Tree. I'm pretty sure they were from Dollar Tree. Again, at this point, anything gold, red, green, white, anything that resembles that it might be something useful for December Daily, I will be picking up and putting to one side for next year, because those things, the alphas, the numbers, stuff like that, come in really handy. So you can see me here getting some ribbon. I'm trying to, decide what kind of ribbon that I want in this. So I end up using this kind of check gingham-y type ribbon. And initially, I put it through and have them all kind of together. I end up, when I take it out to kind of thumb through them, I realize that it doesn't quite work. What I need is something that I can take from, they need more space between each tag. So what I do is I put the 24 on in the gold numbers. I take the ribbon out and then I thread it back through, but only single this time. And I just tie a loose knot at the top. So it's got more room for the tags to kind of fold over each other. And then I'm like, I like it. I just don't love it. So I add another bit of ribbon. What I was looking for is the red, I have some red twine, and I don't know where it's gone. I don't know where it's gone. It's in the room somewhere, but yeah, once I find that, I think I'm going to put that through as well and have it as a big, I'm going to call a big kind of ribbony, twiny binding. And you can see me here, I'm like trying to decide what I want to put on the back of this pocket, because it needs something. It's a bit bland. I end up looking through some die cuts, didn't like those, and then I go back to my stickers, my Ali Edwards stickers, and I love this Falala. Just fits perfectly on there, adds a little bit of something without it being too overpowering. So we come to story 25, which I knew I'd already done this 25 page as part of my foundation page. So I knew I had some area for a full-size photo. What I end up doing is the full-size photo of the gift that my husband got me of the coasters that he engraved with all of our dogs on them, which I absolutely love. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to make this in Canva. So I did the whole of the photo page in Canva. Did the whole text in Canva, added the title, Christmas morning, in Canva. And I'm like, it needs something. So I kind of play with this pattern paper, like this cardstock here. You see this red cardstock? I play with this. I'm like, it needs something red where these bits are. So I toy with the idea, do I want to put those little starburst things on again? And we use some embroidery sewing things. And that's what I do. I get out my embroidery thread, get out my pokey tool again, and I just do another little starburst, one just on the middle on the left, and then one on the bottom right. And again, all I'm doing here is just adhering it to the page with sticky tape. This is just regular sticky tape, like regular sellotape. And it just keeps the stitch, the thread down while I'm pulling on it. And then I just go over the whole thing with the tape afterwards from the back, just so that in case any of the tape loses its stickiness over time, it comes off. And you can see me here, the one on the bottom right, and this is what I said, this one, I decide I'm going to do, I think it's 8. I'm pretty sure it's 8. 8 little starbursty things. Starbursty things. There's probably a name for these. If there's a name for these, you let me know in the comments down below. But I do 8 of these little things, and I much prefer the one with 8. Again, good to know now as we're heading into the end of the month, but I much prefer the one with the 8. But yeah, this is just super easy to do. Again, what I will do next year is get some gold and probably silver, just in case I want to do anything silver. So I want to get some metallic thread for next year. So that is the back side of the 25 done. And then I've got, again, the 3x4 pocket page here for my Christmas day. Again, just did it all in Canva, like just, you know, the photo sizing, the journaling cards, everything was done in Canva, just so that I knew that my sizes were correct. All the journaling was done in Canva. So I've got 6 photos and 4 journaling cards. So I'm cutting all of those out. I'm having to pay attention to the sizes because I realized that the white ones didn't have the border around them. Things that I would do differently in future years. So you can see me here just like putting those down, trying to decide where they're going to go. I've got this December 25th. This is from, again, one of the paper packs that I had, but I feel like I needed more white. Now you can see me here. What I've got here is one of the Christmas crackers that we had for our Christmas dinner. And I saved it because I just thought they would make beautiful, beautiful little journal spots. So I saved one and I was like, I like it. I just don't know if it's for the Christmas food or the one after. And it was for the one after. So I put those in, put all the photos and stuff in. I think this is one of the it's easy, but man, sometimes, especially when you're doped up on cough medicine, it just, yeah, sometimes, again, putting the photos in the wrong way around is just crazy. So I'm just sliding those all in. I do decide to just see, do I want the 25th or do I want another of the Christmas cracker pages? Do I want more Christmas cracker? I do have more of the Christmas crackers. I did save them, so I can just make more cards and use them in future years. But I like it. I just feel that December 25th makes more sense. So yeah, and that is it. I hope you enjoyed this.